Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of The Walking Dead on AMC. This week we've seen Season 7, Episode 2, which was called The Well. And, so it was interesting to see how the show is going to follow up, of course, what took place last week with The Day Will Come When He Won't Be. We knew it was, going to be a slower episode because the show honestly earned a slower episode after, what they put all of us through last week. So overall, I like this episode. I definitely understood the change of tone that was present throughout the episode compared to just the complete rut that all the characters are in last week. Of course, this episode didn't show any of Rick's group. It didn't show any of our main survivors besides Morgan and Carol. And, I understood that, but at the same time, I feel like they could have shifted and shown just Rick and the others, talking back at Alexandria a few times or something like that. I don't know. I feel like they could have touched base with them. I didn't think they needed the whole episode without them. But, we gotta look at the kingdom, of course, ruled by King Ezekiel. We met Shiva, of course, who we've seen in the trailer, the tiger. CGI isn't actually that bad. It looks pretty good, actually. Of course, they didn't really want to have to deal with an actual live tiger on set, so it makes sense that they went the CGI route, to make things a little bit easier, a little less risky. But, I think the CGI is pretty good. You can tell it's, computer generated, but at the same time, it's better than what a lot of other shows can do, I think. And I don't know the actor's name for Ezekiel, but he's played pretty well. But we'll talk more about him in a few minutes. We had Carol being looked after by Morgan, and her reaction to Ezekiel and Shiva is pretty funny. She tries to play that card of being this innocent old woman, but I like how Ezekiel's able to see right through that. And you had Morgan looking after Carol, so they're kind of growing a little bit more of a bond together, despite, how much they contrast each other. As Morgan said, Carol's probably the favorite person he ever knocked out, at least within the top 2 or 3. And we've seen that, it's a little bit unclear at first, but we see that there is this, sort of darker side to what they have to do. They do trade pigs to this other group, and I wasn't sure if it was Negan saviors or not at first, because they didn't really directly say at first. I'm guessing it is. It's probably a smaller group that they do the business with, so it seems like Ezekiel and the Kingdom are even wrapped up with the saviors. They never actually said Negan, which is, interesting. Maybe that's part of the whole, way they try to do it, though, but anyway, so I still think Ezekiel and the Kingdom will be key to eventually, resisting Negan and trying to, counterattack him or something like that. It's still Morgan and Carol are unaware of Negan's impact on the main group just recently. But, overall, it was, a pretty good episode. There isn't really a whole lot to say about it because there wasn't really that much in this episode besides the concentration on Ezekiel. And, Morgan also takes this younger kid under his wing named Ben, who had lost the father, and he's looking after his little brother. He sort of teaches him, like Eastman is trying to accept that the kid's not psychologically messed up or anything. So that part was fine, and with Ezekiel, I don't know the actor's name, but at first he came off a little bit too over the top for me. It almost felt too out of place, even though I know the character is supposed to be kind of like that. And it came off just a little bit too much at first for me. But then we get that scene with Ezekiel and Carol towards the end of the episode where they sit down and just have that honest conversation. Ezekiel is sort of dropping the whole facade. He wanted to create this image for people, someone for them to follow. Find out that he's just a zookeeper, and he had actually looked after Shiva, when everything started going down beforehand and things like that. He had brought her back to health and went back for her when she was one of the last few animals there. So I like that moment of honesty with Ezekiel. Made him feel like more of a real character, more of a real character that would actually exist in this world. Despite the King Ezekiel persona he tries to put out there. He even has a different voice he uses when he's speaking to the rest of the people. Slightly different anyway. He did say he took some theater classes or something. there's some decent zombie kills. This one walker pretty much gets its face just knocked off, I guess. So that was a little bit different. But yeah, there's really not much more to say. Carol, despite eventually probably being to trust Ezekiel a little bit more with that final scene, she decides to go off on her own again. But Ezekiel shows up anyway to check in on her. So we'll see. But yeah, there's really not much more to say. Overall, I like the episode. It wasn't nearly what last week's was. And again, I expected that, but I feel like they could have done more with this episode. I feel like they could have seen Rick and the others, at least touch base with them a little bit again. It did, in a way, sort of feel like a filler episode, even though we're meeting these new characters. I just feel like they could have done more with it. It just felt like they were kind of fluffing it to get to the next point. I don't know. But it was still a good episode. The Walking Dead always has a certain good quality to it, just overall. So I'm going to give this episode about an 8.2 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode, and I'll be back late tonight for a review of the Season 3 finale of The Strain. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.